What is the experience? You see, what is the experience? It's not a closed question. It's not a closed statement. Because we have a mind that says experiences are boundless, different qualities, different makeups, different names, different identifications, different feelings, different emotional reactions to a particular experience. And how can you say what is the experience without knowing what the experience is? You see? So you have to elongate the question. You have to make the question much more temptuous, much more inviting to the mind. So you have to say, what is the meaning of the experience of, I don't know, enlightenment? Is it a sacred experience? Is it a superfluous experience? Is it a joyful experience? Is it a non-dual, diverse, opening experience? You see, every experience is the same experience. We add salt, spice, some herbs, some sort of flavoring, some have some type of meats to make it more voluptuous. The mind wants to make something out of the experience. That's all it is. That's all mind's purpose. You see, the mind cannot feel satisfied until it creates some sort of answer, some sort of conclusion, some sort of formal understanding. Yeah, this is it. This experience held happiness. This experience held an orgasmic flavor. This experience held hatred, anger, despise. We the mind, when you are actively believing that you are this mind and this body, you are allowing information, programming, whether it's good intentions or bad intentions, you're allowing them to flow through you. You see, the experience of realizing what we are as a possible experiencer reveals I am space. Now, in this vast space, this body is experienced through the space that I am. And all the thoughts come through the space. You have to visualize not this person as a form, as a man, whatever. Space. Nothingness. Emptiness. But with a true, genuine, original being state, a knowing state. I know. There's nothing to know but a feeling of spatial awareness until the mind comes through this space, and the mind says, I know what you are. I know what you could be. I know what you were before I knew you today. I came yesterday, but I didn't come through you yesterday. I watched from a distance. And you appear to be different today because a body appears to be coming through you. A world appears to be coming through. Nature appears to be coming through you. The fields, the sky, the trees, all that is named is coming through you. And the only time it comes through you is when your attention is on it. Is this not true? When you look at the landscape, the whole landscape is coming through you. When you identify with the tree only, the landscape is no longer coming through you, but the tree is. So we have a definition through a mental, constructed, conceptual way of breaking things down to break down the experience into minuscule experiences. So enlightenment is when all merge into one, and the whole of what truly is, form, formlessness, imagination, dreams, thoughts, spiritual awakenings, previous lives, future lives, all merge into one pot, one thought, and it comes through you. Well, it's going to blast you, you know. You're going to feel so blasted into Sat Chit Ananda, overwhelming joy state, because what God is part of that. Brahman, absolute Atman, spirituality, Christ, Buddha, Brahmana, all part of that one moment, you see. But it's not yours to keep. You're the space. It's just an experience. So you cannot say you're Buddha, you cannot say you're Christ, you cannot say you're God, you cannot say you're the body, you cannot say you're the person, you cannot say you're the name, you cannot say you're the spiritual, you cannot say you're the religious, you cannot say anything, because all of these things are passing through you. What are you? Who are you? And you can look at it in a very negative and contented way and say, well, you know, just space. Or you can look at it in that highfalutin way and say, well, you know, I am beyond all things that pass. I am the stable where everything passes through me. And of course, another dualistic way of looking at it is to say, well, they're all coming for me because I'm so important. I'm really important, you know. All this mind and thoughts and planets and everything and universes and stars are coming through me because I'm so important, you know. Yeah. Or the other way is, I just happen to be there. I'm actually in the way. You know, their journey would be much more fruitful and less time consuming for me to break it up, and then once it passes through me, they have to re-emerge and, you know, reform and say, what a pain in the ass that one was, you know. So let's not look at it in a dualistic, either opposing way. Let's look at it in the one only way. The space that I am and all that is passing through me is not passing through me, and I am not passing through them. Okay? The space is not passing through them what appear to be still. Or are they moving, you see? So the moving world, the moving thoughts, the moving fantasies appear to be passing through the space that I am. But also I am. This space could be passing through that what is fixed. Well, it's neither. There is only passing. It's a joint venture which becomes one, you know? The space. Does it not sound like the breath? The in and out breath? It's a sound. That's the only thing that exists. This is the thought. They call it an energy. They call it the sound of life, the sound of consciousness, the sound of God. But it's just the sound of everything is ongoing. There is no stopping, no beginning, no end. What else to say, you know? We experience being the space in deep sleep. We experience being the world, the thoughts, the imagination, the body, yeah, the spiritual, the religious, the joiner, the person, the man, the woman, when wakefulness. And we also experience the passing. We also experience the meeting where the wakeful meets the deep sleep. They say hello, but one moment everything becomes still. The passing is useless if it just keeps. It has to meet a moment of love, a moment of presence, a moment of here, a moment of now, a moment of oneness, a moment of merging, a moment of whole, existing, conscious, pure life. And then, God. So is it all over in one body life, or is it all over in one in and out breath, you know? How many breaths? How many body lives? Then the mind is brought in, numerical, counting, wanting, questioning, knowing. It is the passing, the merging and the passing. That's all there is. That's all we need to know. That's the beauty of being alive. Because every now and then we get to merge. Always passing, but every now and then a beautiful encounter with myself. You can call it God, you can call it consciousness, you can call it another human, you can call it with nature, you can call it merging with the planet, you can call it merging with love, you can call it in the Sistine Chapel when God created Adam and the fingers met. A beautiful moment of life.